Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the James Hay Theatre for this evening's mayoral debate, sponsored by the press. Thank you all very much for coming out on a Tuesday evening to see our candidates and hear their policies to be Mayor of Christchuch for the next 3 years.
My name is Byron Clark. I'm a history student at Canterbury University and a retail worker with the rest of my time. And this year I'm standing for Mayor of Christchuch as a candidate for the Workers' Party. Now, the reason I'm standing is because Christchuch is a working class city, and I believe we need a mayor that represents workers' interests.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paulus Telfer. I'm a attorney, Mackenzie friend, and not registered, and I work for the poor people here in Christchuch.
If there's one message I want you to take home from me tonight, that is, you won't die wondering where I stand on issues.
My name's Blair Anderson. You regularly see me speaking in Cashel Mall. I know that's an issue for some people about how we've progressed the debate around some of these issues, whether there's been consultation or not. But I want to take my remaining time tonight, rather than introduce myself, you'll find out all about me on my website.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's not easy for everybody to sit through us bleating on, but this is my turn, so I'm going to have a go. One of the things that I'd really like to sort of remind everybody is that as voters, we are responsible for who's elected in. As voters, or non-voters, as the case may be, we are the ones who then decide who is going to run the city, and then we are the ones who take the responsibility when those people don't stick to the things that they did, if we re-elect them in again.
Thank you, fellow candidates. Good evening, everybody. The people who founded our city had a very simple vision: to build a place where families and business could flourish in harmony with our environment. Our forebears were reformers who had the courage to invest in a better future, and I love that vision. It's just as relevant today.
Yeah, g'day everyone. Can all those people that own a TV just raise their hands for me? Okay, keep them raised if you use a remote control. Very good. How many of you actually push the buttons harder when the batteries are flat?
Oh, yeah.
This is the exact problem that is with people in power. We continue to vote for people that have flat batteries, which are expected to work. Even if we push the buttons harder, but you're going to get the same result, nothing. What you need is someone that will go to the ends of the earth to go down to the dairy and buy you a packet of AA batteries. I'm that person.
I decided to stand for the Mayoralty last year just after it was announced that we're going to get $100 million civic officers. Like most other ratepayers, I thought this was extravagant and the money would be better spent urgently on infrastructure.
Well, I'm Peter Wakeman. I was born in Christchurch. I've been an airline pilot flying jets. The situation that we're facing is people are running out of money because of all these things that we have to pay for, and carbon tax is one of them. So you really need a representative who's going to represent you and just not be silenced by the political agendas of National and Labour. I used to be a member of the Labour Party, but I've since left.
Why is there a need for a curfew, and what difference would it make?
Because we are still getting youth crime around our city that I believe is unacceptable. 14-year-olds should be home in bed at night, getting their sleep, getting ready for school the next day. And I know that the police have the ability to do that now, but let's make sure it happens, because it's not happening. And that's why your fences and your businesses and your walls are getting tagged at night, because it is not happening. I am passionate about this one.
Recently on television, since you are a street cleaner, of course, it has attracted a lot of interest, the whole area of cleanliness in Christchurch. And on television recently you said that the city's street cleaning operations are very image conscious, in that the city's major tourist routes are given cleaning priority over residential streets. I suspect a lot of viewers thought, hear, hear, when they heard you say that. Can you elaborate on that claim, and on what basis did you make it?
I made that claim for publicity mainly. Just the main issue is that the more you spend on cleaning the streets, the more that it'll be cleaned, really. It's just the fact if you spend twice as much, the street cleaning companies will be able to employ twice as many people, and the streets will be twice as clean. It's an easy one.
You are proposing establishing a deputised security force with the powers of police arrest. Can you explain to the audience how you would be able to legally do this under existing New Zealand law?
Well, the plan would be to go to colonial laws that were put into place when colonists first got here and find those laws in place there, and then we just bring them to modern standards. I think it's quite easy to find those laws once you look.
Are those colonial laws active now, though?
Well, it doesn't take much to reactivate them.
Well,
as a city,
wouldn't it take Parliament to reactivate them?
As a city, I think we'd have a right to be able to do it.
With respect to Security Burke, should he hang his head in shame, or do you support the rampant rates increase under his chairmanship?
No, Kerry doesn't have to hang his head in shame, Mike. The accusation that's come up in response to our rating policy by Councillor Parker has been yet another sideshow as he's attempted to avoid actually engaging in the debate. But let's first of all have a look at the issue of rates rises over the road at ECAN. 2021 has 6 out of 14 of the councillors on Environment Canterbury. 6 out of 14 does not a majority make. There are other people voting for these rises as well, people that are now jumping up and down and saying that 2021 is solely responsible for them.
Why did those 6 councillors, though, vote in favour of that rates rise?
There are a number of things that put different pressures on the rates over the road in Kilmore Street than they are in Chewham Street. One of the key things is now how ECAN are going to work to get those rates down. And one of the proposals that the 2021 team at ECAN have put up is to retrieve $7 million from water users by charging the management costs back to the primary users of the water.
But as this campaign has unfolded, you appear to have positioned yourself as the defender of the status quo, maybe by accident or design. How would your style of leadership as Mayor and your approach as Mayor differ from the city's current leadership?
Well, I think I'm freed from the history of the Christchurch City Council. I've arrived there just over a year ago, and so I brought a fresh approach from Banks Peninsula. And I think the best demonstration that I can give you is the Greater Christchurch Urban Development Strategy. Now, I was appointed as the independent chair of the strategy 2.5 years ago, and on that governance group we had 3 representatives from each of the other councils. We had 3 from the city, 3 from ECAN, 3 from Waimak, and 3 from Selwyn. And I was there as the independent chair, not to take anyone's side. We got to the end of that process, one of the most successful consultations in the city's history. Through all of the hearings at the end of that process, a very, very difficult job, and every single decision was a unanimous decision. And where there wasn't an easy decision, where there was more discussion, we went back until we got people at the table happy with the process and understanding the issues.
Because along with the Christchuch Mayoralty, you are also contesting the race to become the Mayor of Waimakadere. You are also contesting the race for the Health Board and a City Councillor position in Christchurch.
Well done, Mike. You do your research very well.
Have you overstretched yourself, and do you consider yourself capable of performing all 4 positions?
Well, Mike, that's where the laugh is, because there won't be 4 positions. Because if you're Mayor of Waimak and Mayor of Christchurch, you would then be on the Health Board, and that is 3 positions, not 4.
As a young, politically active candidate, how do you think the council can not only engage young people to vote, but to actually engage young people in council?
I think the council need to stop treating them like they're criminals, and the same goes for the candidates here. When these young people made a submission to the council, along with a lot of other residents saying we don't want a road, the council ignored 70% of these submissions and said, well, we're going to build a road because, Anthony Goff and David Henderson want it, and they're millionaire property owners, and, we've got to do what the millionaire property owners want. And I'm not surprised that these 2 people have been put on the committee which is overseeing this new road.